Hello and once again welcome back to another video. So in this one we've actually got something different. We've got a product review to do. Now I've been sent this from Sanyipace, so thank you for sending me this to review. And yeah, we're going to do an honest review.
Hello, I'm on TV. If you like this video, give a thumbs up and make sure to hit subscribe at the end.
So the first thing I want to do is thank Sanyipace for sending me this. They've asked me to do an honest product review on it, so that's what I'm going to do. The first thing I want to say about this camera is you need to remember this is a budget camera. Now, some cameras can set you back about £6 grand, and if you're starting up a company, you don't want to be spending out that much money. Just to give you some idea, like to set up a jetting van with a jetter in it, you can be spending about 12 grand just on the van if you want to get a decent van like I've got. You could spend 5 grand on a jetter, like I say, you could spend 6 grand on a camera. I think this is a good little starter camera. Or for someone that's not doing like mainline camera surveys, it's what I'd call a look-see camera, which will get you by for most jobs. The first thing I want to say about this product is it comes with a physical book. Now, most stuff's online these days. I like to have a physical book. So, looking inside the box, everything you need is within the system itself. So you've got the camera head with the spring here. It's a nice size. It'd do 1.5" pipework if it's a straight run. If it's 2" it'd go around 290 bends. 3" it'd go around 390 bends. It comes with a charger. This has got a built-in battery. That makes it a lot easier. You don't want to be carrying around extension leads when you're surveying. It also comes with what I would call a skid. I know people call it different things. That slots over the camera head like this. I'll put that on later on in the video so you can see. And it also comes with this little roller attachment as well for bigger pipe work. It's nice and compact, and in here we've got the cable that connects to the HD 1080p 9" display. The other thing I quite like is it has this little card in here that saves all your files on. Now, personally, I'd have a few of those. If I'm doing a survey, I do one survey on that and then hand that into the office, put another one in the box, and off you go again. So you don't have to take this into the office because you know what it's like, these cameras get covered in sewage. So let's just connect the spring on here. It's nice and simple to do. It literally just screws on. We'll put this camera in a proper pipe a bit later on in the video, but whilst my daughter was at gymnastics, had a play about with it. It's fairly simple to get recording. You literally just click that button I just pushed and it starts recording. The picture seems to be nice and clear, and it also has a meterage counter on the screen, which is quite nice because you know how far you've cameraed. It's also quite nice that you can see the videos that you've recorded on the box. Once you've taken the spring off with the camera head, there's also this nice little bit that you can tuck the cable into, which is a nice little touch because what else would you do with the end of that cable? Now, the thing I really like about this is how compact it is and easy to move about. It's not really like a camera that I'm used to. Most of the ones I've used have been big and bulky. This has got two handles on it and it seems fairly solid built. I'm just going to put my iPhone on the camera and up against the side of it just so you can get some idea of the scale of this thing. It's a lovely little size. It's ideal really. You could quite easily just lose that in the van somewhere and it's not going to take up too much space. Doing drainage, you've probably seen the back of my van. There's an awful lot of kit you've got to carry about, so space means everything in a van. So if you've got a little compact unit like this, it's just ideal. Now, to get an honest review for this, it's only fair that we actually try it out in a drain. Now, I've got a drain at home that the camera I usually carry in my van, I can't get around the trap on this gully. I think this camera is going to do it, so let's give it a test. Just in case you're wondering, the camera head actually measures at 23mm across, so it's ideal for getting in tight little gaps. Now, best practice with a camera is to use the skids. Now, simply these protect the camera head. In this case, I'm going to use the smaller size, and that should be more than capable of getting around this gully. We'll just connect the screen up, and we can get the system on. Now, I don't actually have my own van at the moment, another engineer's took it. So all my tools are in it. The handy little thing was this camera actually came with the screwdriver. So I can actually show you what the skid's on, because honestly all my tools are in my van and I couldn't find a screwdriver at home. And I opened the box up and there was one right there. So thank you, Sanyipace. If you're interested in this setup or a similar one, I'm going to leave a link to their website in the description below. I do quite like with this camera as well, the fact it's got the 12 LEDs on the front, but they're actually adjustable. There's 5 levels you can set them to, or you can have them off, so you can actually adjust the amount of lighting that you want in your pipework. Usually I do this with gloves, but this is my own home drain. This is a stormwater drain and this is a brand new camera. So I'm just going to put my hand in there and get it around the U-bend because it'd be a bit easier for you to see. Like I said, this is an honest review, and the thing is I've never actually had a camera that'd go around a gully trap that easy, and to be honest with you, I've never actually had a camera that'd go around a gully that's 4" like this, so I'm quite impressed with this. If you look on the left hand side of the screen, you can see the meterage going up as we're pushing the camera down. You can also see the voltage of the battery in the camera, and along the bottom you can see the time and date stamp. Now you might notice that time and date's wrong. I forgot to set it before I did this video, but you get the idea. The only thing I did notice is this camera doesn't have a self leveler. I feel like that might be a nice addition, but it's not essential. You're using this camera to find any defects. Does it matter if the camera picture's upside down? I don't think it does. Now I'm going to save this footage onto the camera and then I'll play you back the footage now. This camera's just gone round the U-bend nice and easily. You can see it's gone through the water. Now clearly this camera is waterproof as they said it is, and as you'd expect from a drain camera. As I camera down, again you're going to notice the self-leveler not self-leveling because this one doesn't have one. Like I said, it'd be a nice addition, but it's not essential. But it has a lovely clear picture. I can't fault that picture at all. I can really clearly see what's going on. The other thing I quite like with this camera is it does have a built-in microphone. So what you could do as you're surveying is say to the camera what the defects are, and you could send that footage to your customers, and you're not writing up reports and things because you're saying what the problems are as they're there, making it really clear for your customers, which I do quite like that idea, although it does mean talking to yourself. I honestly can't believe how well this camera went round that gully trap. So it's definitely something I'm going to keep on the van just for that reason, because if I go to a gully like that, I've got no way of surveying it. So we just come down to a little T-junction. I'll show you what I've done in this garden. It's a bit of an odd setup, but I'm a drainage engineer, so why would I put in a normal setup? So under here, we've got a bit of a rhodonite. It's actually a T, so I've got the gully connected in, and then it drops down. There's a T underground. It's got my stack coming in and my toilet, and then it goes out about 3 meters out to the main sewer. So let's try the camera on that and see how we get on. Luckily, I managed to find a screwdriver to get the lid off. I would have tried to use this attachment, but unfortunately I haven't got a pipe it fit through in this garden. But essentially this is what it's used for. That go down the pipe and it lifts it up off the bottom and yeah, crawls down the pipe nicely. So the one thing I really like with this system is all you have to do is disconnect that, shut the box and pick the system up. So when you're moving between manholes and different pipes, it's nice and straightforward. And then when you get there, plug your cable back in. We've switched the camera on with one tap of a button, it starts recording. Now let's test how this camera works going upstream. There's a bit of a bad joint there on the 90 rest bend going up to my stack. I don't think it'd be too much of an issue, but at least I know it's there. We've now gone around 290 bends and it's still pushing. There's a nice crack there, so I'll be able to take a photo of that if I was sending it to a customer, and we can recommend whatever we need to recommend on it. And there's also a bit of a nasty joint where the clay connects to the plastic. I didn't do that bit. Another nice surprise with this camera is it quite happily went round the junction on the stack. Again, usually cameras tend to miss stuff like that, and that's quite a handy thing to be able to do with this camera. I'm quite happy with that. And ahead you can see where the toilet pan connector is. I'll just flush that toilet so you can see. Because it's a new camera, I want to keep it quite clean, so I'm going to wipe the cable off as I pull it back. But I do quite like as well with this camera, it feeds back on the reel lovely. It's quite a flexible cable, so I thought I might have some difficulty with it, but it does go back on really nice. The reel spins nice and freely, there's no resistance on it. That's quite a nice thing to have, because I've used some cameras and you're almost forcing it back on the reel. I've now got the camera set up in the downstream pipe, and we're going to camera down, and I want to see how far I can camera it. So I've gone around the first 90. We're going to camera down. There's a bit of a funny joint there, but it's not terrible. And we're going to camera down to the T where it joins the main. So we've gone around 290 bends at that point, and then we'll see how far we can push it. I say, bear in mind it's 290 bends in a 4-inch pipe, and it's quite a flexible cable. So let's give it a go, and also I can see if there's any defects, although at this point it's not my problem. Like I said earlier on in the video, this is what I would call a look-see camera. I'd use it, I'd keep it in the van, honestly I would, and I'm going to. I think I wouldn't use it for mainline surveys and things like that. Obviously you don't do like a written up report. You could handwrite one. Let's say I used to do surveys that way. But as a quick, easy to get out the van camera, I'd use it. There's a nice hole in my pipework there as well. At least it's in the main line, so like I said, it's not my problem. But yeah, it's nice and easy to get out the van, so for a quick look-see, if you're taking it in a customer's house, rather than taking a massive camera in, you take this in. It's I'd be interested to see as well whether it go around a toilet pan. I'd put a bet on it, it probably will. I'll try that maybe in a later video. I think for plumbers starting out, this would be a good investment. For people looking for a smaller camera, definitely I'd get this. And yeah, like I say, if you're setting up a van, it costs you a fortune. So this is a good option because they are nice and cheap. And currently, at the time of filming this, they are around £505, which isn't a bad price. You've also got to take into account, if you leave this in the van, it's £505. Now, I know tool theft is a big thing at the moment. Now, would you rather spend, say, £6 on a camera and it get nicked? Or would you rather spend £500 on a camera and it get nicked? If you're not doing massive surveys, I'd pick the cheaper option. Remember, we gone around 290 bends. We're currently at 13.5 meters approximately, and we're still going. I'm going to mention it again. In the description below, I'm going to put a link to their website, so go check it out. They've got a very good website. There's lots of choice on there, and it's very clear what you're getting. I say it's, yeah, a very good website, so go check it out. I think for this setup of drainage, this is about its limit. If I was pushing it from a manhole or in a straight pipe, I think I'd get it the full length of that cable, so it's not done badly at all considering how flexible the cable is. But yeah, as an overall thing, I'm actually really impressed with this camera. It's not what I was expecting, it's a lot better than I thought. So when I first heard about it, I thought budget camera, it's going to be a cheap system, not very well made, but honestly, it's solid. Now, the style of box that's on the top there, I actually keep my GoPro in a very similar box, and I trust them because they're solid. I think this is a really durable camera, and I'm interested to see how it does in the long run. So I'm going to pack it away, and yeah, thanks for watching this video. Thank you to Sanyipace for sending me this. And yeah, if anyone else has got some product reviews they want done, then don't hesitate to get in contact with me. Thank you for watching.
Please like and subscribe and leave a comment.